Well, once again I am reviewing pro wrestling, this time from my living room. Why am I in here? Because I just got a new laptop charger and I have my children and I didn't want to be ignoring them all night watching wrestling. Anyway, my kids are in bed now and I've just finished Stardom. Crimson Nightmare. I know I'm late to review it, but there's two things in my favour on that. One, Stardom World is very slow with its uploads. Two, and most importantly, my laptop charger broke. So I've had no laptop for weeks and I am not watching All Japan, New Japan, IWTV, Stardom, or Wrestle Universe on my phone. Just no. Absolutely not. But yeah. And I know no one's going to watch these reviews, but I'm not putting myself through that burden just for the sake of video content. Not that anyone watches it, but yeah, lines are drawn there. So all I've had to watch wrestling-wise is CMLL, which I did watch and I didn't write any notes on, but I really did enjoy it. AAA, which, okay, better than what it was. They had Rey Mysterio show up, even if he didn't really do anything. And Ice Ribbon, which I didn't watch any of because I just didn't. And the other thing was WWE, and I did not enjoy that at all. I didn't even get through the first War Games match. I got up to the miss spot, and that was me done. Anyway, after that, I wanted to watch some Japanese wrestling, which I do enjoy it, but yeah. So here we are, we're at Stardom. Stardom needs no introduction. This event took place on the 3rd of November, so I'm a month and a couple of days late. It took place in Tokyo, and apparently there was 2.4k attendance. It also had English commentary by Walker Stewart, or was it Stuart Walker? I don't know. But yeah, they got the guy who does the English for New Japan doing this, and I want to say, I miss Stuart Fulton. Stuart Fulton should do all Japanese commentary. Hey, I'm Stuart Fulton. I can't do a Scottish accent. It's midnight. I'm not doing that. Anyway, we start off four-way match. Fukigen Death, Kyoko Furushikawa. I'm going to botch these so bad. Some new girl called Rena and Rain, yeah. And then we get, I'm checking my notes here and I've scribbled a name and spelled it wrong. Raina, we'll just say Raina and Rain, yeah, sod it. We start off with Death getting ganged up, but that gets turned around by Death herself, because they're doing the spot where they do the Irish whips, they go to the ropes, and they all drop over, but Rain just Death just walks over them. I don't know why I demonstrate walking with my hands like that. And that's going great until Fukigen Death does Fukigen Death things and gets drop kicked. And I must say, for a comedy wrestler, Fukigen always gets the pass for me. She's great. Rain gets drop kicked by Kyo, followed by an ankle lock by Kyo, which seems to be a signature move of hers because she does it multiple times for this match. At one point, she's got two wrestlers in that lock at the same time later in the match. But there was one funny spot where, Rian, I think that's it, right? Rian. She's somehow got into a sleeper hold in a very awkward Irish whip botch where this Furusawa went to grab her but then turned around just so the girl could jump on to the back of her. It just looked shit. But then Rain comes in and just ran ass kicked her right in the arse. That was funny. And then during that double ankle lock, the aforementioned one, Fukigen comes in, gets the newspaper, and at first is reading it to the women in the lock, takes out a mini newspaper to the top of the head of Kyo. I apologise for the butchery. I can barely speak English. I'm from Nottingham. I can't speak English for shit. But yeah, so I'm going to butcher these Japanese. Anyway, we get Fukigen Death's trademark corner spit, which didn't work well. Reina lands a nasty kick, which what I thought knocked Kyo out. Well, Kayfabe knocked her out. And then Rain comes in, steals a win with a roll-up to death, and that was the end of that. The next match, and on my notes, I didn't write any women's names down, and I'm going to refer to them by factions because fuck writing names down for this. 15 women, 5 versus 5 versus 5. Mi Vida Loca, Cosmic Angels, and God's Eye. This whole match was a surprisingly structured clusterfuck. And that's contradictory, but hey ho. We get 3 women start, we get a fast, quick, strike, dodge, quick tags. Vida, MVL eat shit. But they turn it around with a Russian leg sweep DDT combo, which I thought looked really cool. We get some heel heat. The ref is a useless twat, as usual, in Joshi. Cosmic Angels break up what the heel heat that MLV are doing. God's Eye, well, Cosmic Angels laying the beating. God's Eye come in and just roll up all 5 women from... God's Eye roll up all 5 women from Cosmic Angels, and the ref counts it, but it's a 2. If that had been a finish and it had been elimination, that would have been so cool. I'm not gonna lie, that would have been really cool to see. Sometimes the spot's about the, the aesthetics of the wrestling spot. Sometimes it's just cool. Then, we get the God's Eye then locking missions on all the members of Cosmic Angels, which MVL break up. CA, Cosmic Angels, turn it around. We get a load of near falls. And so, to be honest, this match was surprisingly decent, all things considered. And then we get a God's Eye MVL exchange. But while that's going on, Cosmic Angels turns around and we do get a Colt Cabana Superman pin from someone that's not Colt Cabana. Boom, boom. I'm sad him if CM Punk fell out. We do get a Samoan drop attempt, but that gets countered to a missile drop kick. We get multiple dives from Cosmic Angel, and Cosmic Angel then hit a 5-woman axe kick on God's Eye, and that's the 1, 2, 3. And we get a post-match promo, and I want to say right now, I miss when, even with English commentary, even if you go on the auto-generated subtitles on the Stardom World Player, it doesn't have English. It's English auto-generated, and it's only English against the commentary. So there is no subtitles like there used to be back pre-lockdown. That was good times. I also miss the little promos they would do before every match. I miss that. It got repetitive, but I miss it, and my cat is looking at my notes and looking at me confused as to what I'm doing. But yeah, we get an announcement that Risa Sata is retiring next year, and she wants to go against Susie Suzuki. For those that remember who Risa Sata is from Susie Suzuki's days in Providence, yeah, I thought she had a future as a deathmatch wrestler, but then again, Konami retired and she came back. Next, we get a little just standard 2v2 tag match. We got Hanaka and Waka against Azumi and Myru Amaski. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce Waka's British last name, Japanese first name. I don't control the Japanese naming system or grammar system. I will say this though, Waka looks just like this woman I used to date when I was like 16. Looks just like her, only Japanese. And with dyed blonde hair instead of dyed black hair and British features. Anyway, we get a fast start, quick double teams, really awkward running DDT spot by Myru. We slow down, Waka counters, some moves. Hanako, who looks bigger than last time I saw her and is only an inch taller than me. And I'm only 5'9". Maybe 2 inches taller than me. But yeah, she looks dominant, but she doesn't really do a lot. She does counter a tornado DDT from Myru, but Myru escapes and lands a DDT on her anyway. So when she counted the tornado, it was going to go to a suplex, but somehow Mayu puts herself down, runs off and hits the DDT. So what was the point of countering the tornado? Might as well have just done it. Anyway, Hanako, we get some fighting spirited clotheslines, killing any spot we see. We get hot tags. We get a decent pin exchange by Waka and Azumi. Waka, who has improved a lot since I first started seeing her. She does that move with her hips, and I wrote arse move in my notes, which wasn't worth it, as Azumi and Hanaka just double team her. A submission to a rope break. Waka has improved. Oh, I've already said that. Hanaka just bulldozes Azumi and Mayu, but Azumi escapes a roll-up with a roll-up of her own on Waka, and that's the 1-2-3. And I will say this about Japanese pro wrestling. There's only so many times you can see, oh, he escaped to a roll-up. It's like your friends spamming the possum pin on SVR. Doesn't matter what SVR it is, as long as it's after the first one. Did the first one have possum pins? No, it didn't. It was those 6 I brought in. Next, we get a 6-woman tag match with Hate and Stars. And I'm going to say B. Priestley just doesn't fit in Stars. I'm sorry, I don't like face B. Priestley. She works so much better as a heel. And also, no respect for Walker Stewart for calling her, for saying she did a cheeky Nando's kick. Man, that ended bad. Anyway, we get a heel start from Hate, and if you ask me, Hate are Stardom's best faction, period, at this present time. But I will admit, I do miss the old Oedo Tai theme, the second one that came out with, the one where it goes, I will never do that again. And Stars, they have Momo Congo, who I just hate saying her name out loud. I hate reading it. We have, obviously, B. Priestley, and we have the Queen herself, Saya Lydia. I remember people, that meme of that fan crying when he saw CM Punk in AEW. I saw people meme that and put me when Saya Lydia comes back, and I was one of those guys. It's just a shame Stardom hasn't done anything with her worth a fuck. Anyway, Momo Congo gets dominated and is getting battered by Hate, and the match starts with Hate just beating the shit out of everybody at first thing, but Momo counters it with a 619 on Ruka, who I think is cool. And, well, Sedia comes in, she has a really awkward DDT spot. Rena, the little tiny tick goth girl, and B. Priestley have a scrap. We get some nice cut-offs by Hay on a triple team. The ref is a useless twat, but still a decent-ish match. But we get a really nice Northern suplex from Rena, and I love a Northern Lights suplex. It's like a good Northern Lights. There's just nothing that compares to it. And then we get a diving shoulder from Lydia on two of the three members of Hate. Outside the ring dive, Stars get the triple team they tried earlier. Not that it matters because moves are hit, and Bia hits her finishing move, that really awkward. It's not quite Mark Jindrak's back suplex to Uranagi, but it's not quite a back suplex either. It's kind of like, it just doesn't look good. 1, 2, 3. Match. Anyway, we get a one-on-one match now. Finally. But we get Bozilla against Saki Kashima. I think I pronounced that right. Oh, man. It's not that. Bozilla has a place. A dominant, violent, big girl. Saki, she used to be funny in Oedo Tai, and then she kind of floundered and became like the comedy wrestler. And then she ended up in God's Eye of all places. But anyway, Saki, she looks minuscule compared to Bozilla, who is 6 foot tall, and I am not 6 foot tall. So I would have to tilt my head slightly to look at Bozilla, as I am only 5'9". Barely 5'9". Anyway, Sasaki looks absolutely fucking horrified of Bozilla. The English commentator is like, she said in Tokyo Sports she wants fans to protest outside the offices of Bushi Road so that way they can get this match cancelled. And they want everyone to hold a big party for Bozilla so they can get her drunk so she can't compete. She said she would neither attend the party or the protest in case Bozilla was there. But match finally gets underway. Bozilla charges but runs into the ring. Saki tries to dive, so gets caught, carried around the ring and just onto the apron, which did not look painful. But it's nice to know she protects her fellow wrestlers. Then we get... what we're gonna... And then after that, Bozilla gets on the apron, picks her up on the shoulders again and just her over the rope, which I thought looked funny, but I still think she should have done that first and not bothered with the splat on the apron. I kind of thought that was useless. We get a superplex from Bozilla that Saki shelled the shit out of. Bozilla saw Saki in the corner trying to remove a pad like Yano does, but Bozilla then just was like pretending to ignore it. It's like, that is just stupid. Sometimes that woman really can't like structure herself, but accidents happen, I guess. She goes to the charge, eats shit, and then, well, Saki botches a roll-up. Quite a few times she does that during this match. And even though Bozilla just straight up no-sold being put into that steel, it would have been nice for her to sell it. If Saki had got a couple of hands in, a couple of shots, instead of a roll-up straight away. But yeah, just not really what I like. And then we get a really, really shit Frankensteiner. Because Bozilla's on the top row, just sat there. And Saki is hitting a move. She's trying to get something in. She goes to do it. But as she does it, Bozilla slips off the rope. Well, I assume she slipped. Lands on her feet. Picks Saki up like that. Still in the powerbomb. And Saki then does the Hurricanrana, well, the Frankensteiner, into a really shitty looking two-count. We get a shitty tornado DDT. A decent poison runner. But then Zilla just straight up just like Germans Saki. She then grabs Saki and says, "Bye-bye, bitch." Headbutt. And she does a very, very impressive moonsault, but she misses. And it's only impressive because it's from the second rope and she's a big gal. Saki wakes up and she actually starts fighting, but we get another really awkward roll-up. And I couldn't tell if it's because Bozilla's not used to being rolled up or if Saki is just too spingly and dangly and short to do the roll-up and get Bozilla in the position. I couldn't tell. I'm not a wrestler. We do get Bozilla diving on the outside from the second rope onto all the women wrestlers outside the ring, which, say what you want about that spot, but when Bozilla does it, it makes sense. Like when The Undertaker did it to... Did he do it to HBK? Or did he do it? I know he did it at Brett. Yeah, he did it in your house against HB after the HBK match against all the WWF roster because sure, why not? Anyway, that should have been the finish, but Bozilla goes for a powerbomb and Saki realizes and she taps out right on Bozilla's shoulder and Bozilla just awkwardly like loggles her around. It's like, why? You should have just done the fucking powerbomb. This show's not been as good as I would like. Speaking of matches that weren't as good as I would like them to be, we get Mai I can never pronounce this woman's name. And it's not this one, she's been a champion for 400 days. Mai Shira versus Hazuki. Hazuki. I used to love watching Hazuki wrestle. She was always a fun wrestler to watch, but this match just was not it. But it is cool seeing her have a CMLL belt. And Mai's, like I said, Mai's been champ for 4 days. We get a fast technical start. We get some nice dive teasers where she goes to run. Her opponent who's out of the ring drops down on her ass and just slides all sat down with her legs crossed like, eh. Oh man, I wish I could do that. If I could do that while my band's playing, that would look so cool. But I can't because I'm too heavy-weighted. Somehow after that, we get a weird senton botch where Mai attempts to roll, but she doesn't roll further enough and the senton just clips her. I always hate when that happens. Looks like something out of a wrestling game. We get a really nice armbar, even if it's a very exotic looking one, by Hazuki. We get a dive from Mai, which when it was done to the outside by Mai. Hazuki was the only one who caught her. We get a nice suplex by Mai. But then this match quickly turns to fucking shit. We get a mega botch diving Hurricanrana, which did not look good. It did not. I think Hazuki may have overestimated my strength on that one. We get a lot of counters to it, which ends in a German suplex by Mai. And Mai did the backwards version of that move Justin Payne used to do. But instead of it going this way, Justin Payne used to do, it goes that way. And I thought it looked cool. But oh man. This match did not get much better. I will say this, the finish was decent because Hazuki countered a power bomb into a poison runner. She went to go give a bicycle kick, but that got countered into a power bomb anyway, which, okay, a bit lame, but we did get to see that Justin Payne move one more time, and somehow that was a finish. Why? Anyway, next match, and this to me was a great match. This is where the show picked up. Starlight Kid versus Konami for the Wanderer Stardom belt. We get a promo to build it up, but no subs, so you don't know the Japanese translations. But nevertheless, Konami more or less told Kid to fuck off. Mock Kid, attacked her. But Konami being completely evil and smashed her arm against the ring post with a steel chair, which in traditional wrestling logic would be a hospitalization angle, but okay. Even still, we get a nice slow start, plenty of headlocks, some rope exchanges. Starlight does a misdirection to get out of that exchange with a dropkick to Konami. But Konami hits her rings of Saturn, and I always pop when I see that move. It's so cool. Starlight Kid gets sent outside, hate attack her, but she does fight it off. But Konami just says fuck that and hits Kid in the arm with a chair against the post. And where was the referee during this? I don't fucking know. Probably reading the newspaper. Probably got a fucking can deaf. Because, fuck refereeing, I guess. We do get some nice arm work from Konami. Starlight Kid turns it round with a big crossbody combo. Then she went for Konami's leg with a moonsault, which she landed on. And Kid tried Brock Lesnar's one time I ever saw him use it, and that was against Rey Mysterio, the Brock Lock, which just looked like shit when he did it. Well, it looked good against Rey Mysterio, but if you did anyone else, it wouldn't have looked good. So we're getting a lot of leg work. Well, we will later, because Konami had hurt the arm so much that Konami could just roll out the Brock Lock. Anyway, we then get Konami doing that hanging Minoru Suzuki armbar. We get Fisherman, lots of kicks, punches. SLK gets really pissed off and just starts wailing on Konami in the corner, which was really cool. Excuse me, but I thought it was cool anyway. While in the corner we get fucking hell, a nice dragon screw. Excuse me. Then Konami gets put in the Brock lock again, but this time she manages to get to the ropes. Starlight Kid goes for that rotating splash she likes to do, but eats Konami's knees. She does sell the arm from them knees as well, which I thought was a nice call. She sells a roundhouse kick beautifully as well, because she runs at Konami and then gets kicked and rolls over, which I thought was a nice touch. Konami's dive kick looks both good and shit at the same time. But eventually, Kid hits the Tenzan Tombstone, aka the Tombstone #1 from SmackDown Survivor 6. We get a moonsault, 2 count, Konami count as the Tiger Driver to a sleeper, rope break, sleeper suplex, kick to the head, 2 count. Konami shoots the arm, which she releases to kick Starlight Kid in the head again. Kid blocks it, transitions to a Tiger suplex. Top rope backflip Uranagi we get in this match, and yes, I did pronounce it right. I won't ever call it a Spanish fly. We then get the Brock lock. Eventually we get a Brock lock, but while on that Brock lock, Konami gets her hands on her spray can, and the ref blatantly saw it. You saw Konami with the can. You could see the black paint all over Starlight Kid's mask. That should be a DQ right there. But Konami gets the belt and lands a really shitty looking strike against Starlight Kid with it. We get a half Nelson suplex, 2 counts. We get a submission by Konami. Roll up counter, 2 count, another Konami kick. Another Konami kick, 1 count this time because Starlight Kid's got that fighting spirit. We get that Randy Orton punk kick, but not as cool. An arm submission, and then Kid taps out. And that is Konami's first Wonder of Stardom Championship. She deserved it. I know there's a lot of criticism about wrestling, about kicking out finishers and all this, that, the other, but it's Japan. They've been doing this since like the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. It's just roll with it. Well, it's like with WWE, it doesn't work because WWE is Metallica and Stardom is a Gothicles. You wouldn't like a Gothicles if they did Metallica, and you wouldn't like Metallica if they did a Gothicles. It's that simple. Anyway, main event time, double championship, World of Stardom and the New Japan Strong. And both of these women, Momo Watanabe and Seiya Kamitani, were both in Queen's Quest, but the commentator did a really good job highlighting the story of this, because when in Queen's Quest, Momo was the first to turn against and betray the group. That planted some seeds in Seiya to start questioning the Queen Quest. She leaves Queen Quest eventually, joins the hate group that Momo is in, formerly Odeyo Tai. I still miss that theme song. And then, well, Momo started 5 years before Seiya, and Seiya ends up becoming the big draw. So it's the battle of the old generation versus the new. I'm going to take your belt because I can. I brought you in. I will take you out. And the young blood, even though they're both heels, she's like, I love you, but I'm going to crush you. Sometimes it's just nice to have a little bit of story. Anyway, we start off nice and slow and technical. In case you hadn't noticed, the matches get slower every start. We get some nice sequences on the mat to a stare down. And also on the nameplate, Saya Kamitani's nickname was spelt wrong on the graphic card. It was spelt Phenen. Yeah. Nice. Nicely done. Nicely done, Bushi Road. Anyway, we get a nice moonsault by Saya, which she cancels into a single leg Boston Crab. Gets to the ropes. Momo throws Saya into audience cheers. We get some more back and forth. Momo on the outside just whacks Seiya in the leg with a pipe, and that bastard ref does absolutely nothing. Speaking of bastards, we get a bastard driver on the apron by Momo. Not that it matters because Seiya didn't sell it, but what we do get out of that is one of the sickest spots I've ever seen. Momo's on the apron and goes to charge, and as she goes to charge at Seiya, Seiya jumps off the apron. So Momo here, Seiya here, jump off, grab Honoka Frankensteiner, and it looked beautiful. Just a shame you had to no-sell a bastard driver on the apron. And where are we now? Yeah. Seiya hits a Northern Lights, and I love a Northern Lights. It's the third one we've seen this whole card. I would complain, but I love the Northern Lights. We get a Kabushi tease with his knee, which misses. Momo counters it with her version of it, but instead of a knee, it's a roundhouse. We get half and half suplex. We get 3 Meteoras, 2 count. We get a top rope fight, which Momo wins, only to get Honoka running off the apron. Ref didn't see a weapon shot conveniently from Momo in the middle of the ring. Another bastard driver, 2 count. We get a multiple pin exchange 4 times, only for Momo to stand up and do King Cuerno's old Lucha Underground finisher, where he has the tombstone from the front, but he hooks the legs like that. Another 2 count. We get a nice Enziguri. Seiya, multiple elbows, max, roundhouse kicks, a nice wheel kick by Seiya. Roll up to a Blue Thunder by Seiya. Seiya hits a Fisherman's Driver, aka the Star Crusher. During the pin, Momo countered that pin with a pin of her own. And to be honest, I said it before, I'm not too keen on that sometimes. If you're going to do it, have like a manager interfere in it, so that way they can shove you, but whatever. And then we got that half and half suplex she does. She then does her what's called Peach Sunrise suplex. And just as Momo's about to hit a third half and half suplex that she does, Seiya counters it, hits Momo with her own move, the Peach Sunrise. We then get a Star Crusher, 1, 2, 3. That was it. And then Syuri comes out and we're all good for Wrestle Kingdom. I'll take it. But the thing is, this card wasn't so bad. The show was good. I give it a 6 out of 10 because there were some just abysmal matches. But I will say this, the 5v5v5 was a lot cleaner and a lot less of a clusterfuck than I thought it was going to be. And the final 2 matches made up for the lackluster that we had on the show. Especially that Wonder title match. That was such a letdown. Anyway, I'll be back in a day or two to review another pro wrestling show. Hope you enjoyed this. I know no one's going to watch this, but if you do feel like it, follow me, subscribe, and all that shit. I will also upload gym videos and maybe videos of my cat. Goodbye.